So yeah, welcome to episode 15. If you're watching this, then you should be watching the episode before at 14, because that's the good one. Hey, welcome to the Anispective cast, where, you know what? We do not condone cutting down the forest unless you really, really want to.
We do not condone cutting down the forest just for the sake of it.
Listen, we are anti-Proto-Man. You should not just burn the forest with fire. That's probably not a good idea.
Yeah. So
I'm just imagining like Mega Man just burns down the forest because Pro Man told him to, and Rokusho just shows up and is like, "Hey, don't do that. Stop it, Mega Man."
Yeah. So basically, probably not going to have a lot to talk about with this episode other than the plot rundown. This one's not. It doesn't matter. I don't know. These characters might come back, but I mean, this episode is just kind of like the most whatever we've seen so far, I think.
Yeah, oh god. I'm just, like, we have to talk about it, but I'm like, is this really worth talking about? I don't know, this is really nothing.
Okay, so quick rundown. Karate guy shows up at Ikki's house. Ikki's mom just kind of lets him in and freeload at their place while he tells this story about being surrounded by hundreds of Medabots while they were training and defeated. And now he wants to become #1 in Japan, but first he has to defeat the Medabots who ambushed him.
Medabots, and though he only describes one. And he describes it as like a Medabot with horns that may or may not be white.
Yeah. And the rest of the episode is him freeloading at Ikki's place while Ikki and Erica look for this supposed Medabot. There are hundreds of Medabots.
Man, this might be like the weakest episode in the series so far.
It is.
Yeah. Because
there's like one.
Yeah.
Like, I like Kintaro design-wise. I think he's pretty cool.
He's pretty fun.
I like that he just says, "I am strong," like repeatedly. That's just kind of his thing. And like at the end of the episode, he's like, "I will get stronger," and like he always says it in all caps. I don't know. It's just funny.
Yeah, it's funny because he screams it.
It also
unironically.
Yeah, that's why it's all caps, because he screams the word whenever he says it. But he doesn't seem weak. He just seems incompetent, because him and Medabi have like a little sparring match, and even Medabi is just like, "Oh wow, he actually does seem pretty strong." And then but before the fight can end, the karate guy I don't remember the name of is just like, "Okay, that's enough." And it's like, I think Medabi would have beat him, and that's why he stopped him.
Yeah, the direct implications, they start they do the thing where they grip hands and they're trying to overpower the other one. I think it's like a wrestling thing or something. That might be where it's from. But yeah, Medabi's
sumo.
I was thinking actual wrestling, but maybe it's sumo, because I don't think there are grabs like that in sumo, but I could be wrong.
I don't know.
But it's they start contesting their strength like that, and you see Kintaro's actually starts sweating, and the direct implication is oh, Medabi actually is overpowering him.
Yeah, but it doesn't it seems like Kintaro isn't weak. It's just he's not as strong as Medabi.
Yeah. Which is very goofy, because this episode gives him a win-loss rate of 0-2. With one draw technically from this.
What about when he beats Medabi in the fighting game?
In the fighting game?
There's a moment where Kintaro and Medabi are playing a fighting game against each other, like a video game.
God. I'm gonna be real, I was so avid for this episode, I don't even remember.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Medabi's apparently Kintaro is actually really good at video games and Medabi's not.
I thought you were referencing like an actual like video game where it's like, oh yeah, you have
No.
to use Kintaro and beat Medabots in the tutorial or something. I was
No.
like, wait, what is
Yeah, no. While Karate Guy's freeloading at their place, Kintaro and Medabots are like playing video games, and Kintaro beats him, and Medabots gets all mad at him. And Kintaro, of course, just says, "I am strong."
I mean, like, technically it is a contest of skill, but I don't know if I should count that one.
Yeah, I mean, joking, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, they keep getting information about this supposed Medabot that they're hunting down, that it has horns, and they find like a rabbit-looking one. And it's like, I guess they kind of look like horns, but it's not him. And then he's like, oh yeah, and then it had a white body.
There's an interesting thing we quickly learn where it's like, oh yeah, it's horns, so it must be either a beast or an insect type. So it's like, okay, there are all like specific types of Medabots, and there are like only specific types that have horns in the first place. And it's like, okay, that's interesting information.
I mean, unless you're a Medabot that's neither of those and just using a part with horns.
Yeah, that's true. Us, like, if it's your body, that would be considered what type you are then, huh?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
he shows them a drawing. It's, the drawing's pretty good. The drawing is pretty good. Because you
say so.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
I mean, if you knew you were looking for Rokusho, then maybe.
I mean, I'm joking because I'm like, oh yeah, it's a good bit, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. Spoilers, it's Rokusho who beat them.
Yeah. God, goofy fact, like, while I was watching this, I was just writing down the win-loss record. I'm like, oh, right, yeah, because he did lose once, and this is a draw, so, was the robot's name as looked up Axe Robot or whatever, and found it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, what's the owner's name? And I found it, and as I was scrolling down, it's like, oh, yeah, in the episode, he was beaten by Rokusho, and I'm like, damn it. I spoiled myself in the episode.
So, technically, Kintaro beat himself.
I would still count that as a win for Rokusho, because Rokusho specifically is like, oh, I'm not fighting you, I don't want to fire, whatever. But I mean, for all intents and purposes, he does beat him in a fight. He just doesn't actually hit him.
I guess. I mean, he is attacking Rokusho and Rokusho's dodging, so I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, side note, I forgot to update that. Yeah, Rokusho should have too, because he beats him in the past too, in the flashback.
Yeah. So, Rokusho saved the puppy when he appeared. In this episode, he appears because a baby is in trouble, and he saves the baby.
Yeah. Listen, whenever there is danger, Rokusho will be there to save it.
Yeah, it's fine. I like the idea of a lone Medabot who's just like a hero for the town. It's pretty cool. But yeah, he saves the baby.
I'm just thinking of a really dumb gag where, like, just a dumb edit where, like, they say he's like, the baby's in danger, and the mom just starts screaming Futa, like, with the dog. And that's way too funny to me. Oh, man. Dumb joke is dumb. Rokusho saves a baby.
Yeah, Rokusho saves the baby and gives it back to the mother, and that's when Karate Man is just like, yeah, that's him. That's the Medabot that beat us, but now we're going to beat you. And Rokusho is just like, I don't want to fight. Also, yeah, he's like, yeah, I was... Or Medabots. Yeah, Medabots is the one who starts questioning him, and he's like, hey, was it you who beat this guy? And he's like, yeah, that was me. And like, what about all the other Medabots? And he's just like, it was just me. I was alone. You should know this.
Yeah, I was alone, like always. You see, I am Bug, but I'm also Lone Wolf, but mostly I am Bug.
Yeah. And he's just like, yeah, so these guys are up there cutting down trees for no reason, and that's where all the bugs and stuff live, and I like them. The bugs and the birds, that's what he says. Insects and
Yeah.
birds. And he's like, yeah, so I had to go put a stop to it. And like Karate Man just like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna fight for real and whatever. And we forgot. We talked about the sparring match, but we forgot to bring up the Mr. Referee bit.
Yeah, because we brought up last episode,
Okay.
Cal, where Mets referee just runs from who knows where, just runs straight to the fight, and he's just exhausted when he gets there. And they're like, yeah, no, this isn't gonna be an official robot. We don't have any need for a referee. And he's like, I'm not needed. And he like just walks away all sad and depressed.
Yeah, and it's not even just that. Erica says that, yeah, I'll be refereeing this, and then she does like the pose and everything. But it's funny and like it's kind of sad though, because he's like, yeah, he runs in and he loves being the referee for these. He's like, yeah, we don't need you. And he literally starts crying and walks off all dejected. It's like, ah.
Yeah, it's like they get rid of the rematch with Rokusho, and Mr. Referee does the gag again. He just runs up super excited, and Rokusho's like,
so we're all in agreement.
Yeah, no, this isn't.
This is an official row battle. Yeah, this is an official row battle. Whatever, blah blah blah. And the Rokusho just interrupts and goes, "I refuse." And he's just like, "Oh,
oh man, again."
And he just walks off all sad in like the exact same way as the first time, and it's like, oh man, they really did Mr. Referee dirty this episode.
Even like the worst, most nothing episode, the Mr. Referee gags are still great. They're still really good.
But yeah, despite Rokusho's refusal to fight, Karate Man 6 Kintaro after him, and Rokusho's like dodging and avoiding his attacks really easily. And Kintaro swings at a tree to try to get at him, and the tree falls on Kintaro and he loses.
I think there's like
it's revealed.
There is some point where they imply that's how he beat them last time.
Yeah, so the tree falls on him, and then it's revealed by Karate Man that that's exactly how they lost the first time.
I have to imagine
Kintaro like dropped the tree on himself.
I have to imagine the first match was like they chase Rokusho down in the woods, and he's just like he's jumping from tree to tree really quickly, and he's so fast they just think there's multiple of them, because they can't keep up.
I don't think that's the case. I think he was just exaggerating for his own pride, because
I'm sure he's exaggerating, but I believe that's like the root of it. It's like, there's like, multiple of them at once. There's like 5? No, maybe there's like 10. No, there has to be like 100. Yeah, I lost to 1,000 Medabots, and it's like that whole thing.
Yeah, but so the implication, because we know what we know of Rokusho, he probably walked up and said, hey, I value like the lives of the insects and birds, and like you're damaging their environment by cutting down the trees. Could you not? And then Karate Guy probably just got all aggressive and attacked him.
Yeah, pretty much. That sounds about right.
And then Rokusho is just like, all right, I'm just gonna start dodging.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start dodging and we'll see where this goes.
And yeah, drops a tree on himself. And Rokusho is just like, all right, that's all right, I'm leaving. He just goes.
As goofy as it would be for Rokusho to just stay at 0 wins and 0 losses the entire series, I kind of am glad he got some actual wins in, if he didn't want them.
Yep.
So yeah, that officially puts Rokusho above Keith Turtle, so good for that.
Yeah. I will say I appreciate that they didn't go with the idea or with the trope that like, oh, Kintaro is actually super weak and like worthless or whatever, and the guy's just like some freeloader who's like telling a fake story or whatever. Like, no, there's some truth to his story. And Kitaro, if he wasn't so stupid, would actually be pretty good.
Yeah, if they just chilled out and actually, like, you know, like, just wasn't so just aggro, they would be pretty solid.
Yeah.
Well, if they didn't try to contest Medabots' power directly and instead just, you know, tried to just fight him close range with the axes, they might have a chance.
Yeah. Also,
just, yeah.
Rokusho's supposed to be white, I guess. I always saw him as silver.
Yeah, I thought it was like silver or gray maybe, but nah, that makes sense. That makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we really have to say about this episode? I feel like we really rushed through it, but it's like...
There's not much to talk about. Like, I think
there's a
the
unicorn
only...
Medabot. That was kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. They find a white Medabot with a horn, and it's a unicorn, and, like, they look at it, and it makes, like, a horse noise. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
And we get, like, the first line from Icky's dad since episode 1, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing, huh?
Yeah, he's just like, oh yeah, all the side dishes are gone because Freeloader Karate Man is like eating all their food.
Oh man, yeah, I guess that's the episode. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah, 15 is the weakest of the 3 this week. 14 is incredible, and 13 is pretty good.
Yeah, that seems a pretty good summation of things.
So yeah, watch episode 14. I'll say it in this episode too.
I guess I'll see you guys around.
Yep. Later.